live here, Governor. That was my daughter's school, Governor. Please tell me what you're going to do. I'm not going to hurt him, I promise.
I'm literally talking to the president right now to specifically answer the question of what we can do for you and your daughter.
Can I hear it? Can I hear your call? Because I don't believe it.
I'm sorry. There's literally, I've tried 5 times. That's why I'm walking around to make the call.
Why is the president not taking your call?
Because it's not going through. So
Why?
I have to get cell service.
So let's get it. Let's get it. I want to be here when you call the president.
I appreciate it. I'm doing that right now.
Everyone who went to school there, they lost their homes. They lost 2 homes because they were living in one and building another. Why was there no water in the hydrants, Governor?
That's all literally.
Is it going to be different next time?
It has to be. Has to be. Of course.
Opinions vary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Opinions Varied. It's Opinions with an A. Please like, share, and subscribe. And we have to continue with the California wildfires because it's the biggest story we've had in a long time, and it should be. And Gavin Newsom, that's the governor right there of California, taking the heat that he deserves. No pun intended with the heat. I'm not like Joe Biden, though. I'm not trying to make a joke like he did yesterday. That's a whole nother story. If Donald Trump would have said the same thing he did, be 24/7 coverage forever.
I want to turn it over now to the Vice President before we go on to the folks in the various cabinet positions as well as agencies that control these issues. Madam Vice President, I know you're directly affected, so you fire away. No pun intended.
Indeed.
Anyway, let's go back. Gavin Newsom being confronted by a woman there, and she said a couple of interesting things there. First of all, he lied to her. He wasn't on the phone with the president. He was apparently trying to reach him. A couple of things. Why does Gavin Newsom not have a satellite phone with him? Shouldn't he have a satellite phone driving around? I mean, he's the governor of California, which is in under the biggest state of emergency, probably one of the biggest states of emergency in the history of this country right now. And Gavin Newsom's walking around with a cell phone like every one of us, going like this, trying to get a signal. What the hell is going on? Another thing she said that I found very interesting, I don't know if anybody else caught it. She said, some people lost a home. Some people lost 2 because they were building another one. That plays into this video. That plays into what I'm really going to talk about here. And what I'm going to talk about here is how Donald Trump should handle this and exactly what he should do, who he should appoint on the federal level to run point on this operation to help get California rebuilt. I'll get into that in a little while, so stick around if you want to hear that. It's interesting, and I think it's a great idea. You tell me in the comments when you hear it what you think. So let's get into a little Jesse Waters. I think Jesse Waters is fantastic. Jesse Waters has taken over for Tucker Carlson and hasn't missed a beat. I think he's the best on cable news right now as far as a commentator, as far as an anchor. I think he's fantastic. He's going to be talking to Justine Bateman, former actress from the show Family Ties. I age myself on a daily basis, it seems, on this channel. It's from the 80s. She was very famous back then. Now she's the first time I've seen her in a long time, but she's talking about how the Democrats, I think she's talking about how they're in big trouble now in California. California is ripe for the taking because of this. As that woman said, people with 1 home, no, the people with 2 homes have lost everything. We'll talk about that. Without any further ado, let's go.
Filmmaker and author Justine Bateman, who lives in Hollywood Hills, joins me now. How are you feeling right now, Justine?
Hi. I'm pretty pissed, and I think a lot of people in Los Angeles are pissed. If you are going to run a city or run a state, you have to take care of the basics, and that's make sure that your fire and your police department are well funded. Make sure that you have, not only you have plans if there are emergencies in your area, you have rehearsed them, but also you have plans to mitigate the problems that you know are going to happen in that area. And for us, it's fire, earthquake, rain, and consequent mudslides. And if you're not doing everything you can to take care of those problems if they arise, then get out. You are useless to us. All those other things, all the other programs like Head Start and all of that, that's great for the community, that's after. If you can't cover the basics, get out of our city. You are useless to us. You are a liability, and you have destroyed people's lives because you didn't do your job. You didn't do what you were hired for. You didn't do what we pay you for, and you should resign out of shame and responsibility for the people whose lives you've destroyed right now.
They won't.
I don't see anything what she said right there that anybody could debate unless you're a complete, unobjective partisan hack. And I see Karen Bass, the mayor of Los Angeles, doing these press conferences, and I just look at that and listen, and I said, how is she able to run a press conference? How is she able to be in that position anymore? She should have been removed the minute she got back from Ghana. I'm watching it. I go, how does anybody trust her? It's like giving your car to a mechanic, the mechanic totally screwing your car up, basically destroying it, and you then giving it back to him to fix what he destroyed. Doesn't make any sense. How is she able to run a press conference? How is she in charge? Even figuratively in charge? How?
Design at all. They don't have the dignity or the honor to do that.
Correct.
Why do you think that they don't do the basics? Do they just not do their job? Are they distracted with other things? Are they incompetent? What do you think it is?
I think when you're this incompetent, you don't understand you're incompetent.
Yeah, that's so good.
Great
It's
point.
true. Usually other people do things for you. You've gotten to this position, you fly to Africa, or you have your aviators on and you look good on camera, and you just can't execute, and you think this just always happens in California.
But how many times can we see Gavin Newsom? It's almost like she just said, he doesn't realize how bad he is during the whole thing with this and the thing that came over from where. That guy, he's not wearing this. He's out having a good old time with all his friends because he doesn't even, it's almost like he either doesn't care at all, it's possible, or he's that oblivious and doesn't realize just how bad it looks and how bad it is, policy-wise how bad it is. Maybe it's a combination. You tell me.
Is this what people think? Fires happen, mudslides happen. It's always like this.
No, this isn't. Look, we had incredibly unusual winds. If you know that's coming, you make sure that you are prepared for what might occur. And they weren't. Yes, it was extraordinary circumstances. But here's what I really hope all voters do. Stop looking for the R and the D next to these names. Just stop it. You need to look at the person. Do you think this person can do the job? Because unfortunately in California, we have been looking at Ds and we have voted in people who are not competent to handle these things.
Bingo.
Bingo.
Olympics in here?
Yeah.
How?
Oh my God.
How are we going to have the Olympics in Los Angeles? And you know what? If people want something to pray for, here's what you pray for. Pray that we don't have an earthquake in Los Angeles while these two people, Newsom and Bass, are in charge. Pray that we don't have an earthquake because they will not be able to handle that.
I mean, there's no evacuation plan. That is very clear. Is this fire and the inability to mitigate it or even put it out, is this going to change how people vote?
It might. I mean, like I said, look, if somebody's competent and they've shown their competence,
It should.
and they have a D next to their name, fine, vote for them. If they have an R next to their name, who cares? Like, vote for them. Vote for somebody you think can do this job. I mean, you checking whether or not there's an R and a D next to the name of the plumber you're going to hire or your housekeeper or somebody to fix your car? No.
I didn't even know
You're
she said that.
looking at their
Yep.
ratings. You're asking other people who have, had experience with them. Do they do a good job? Please do that with the politicians, please, or you see the results of it.
At the end, I didn't even know she went that way with the mechanic. I would just, but it's common sense. It's a good analogy. It just fits, right? Everybody can relate to it. Now, when he said, "Is this going to change how people vote?" I think it will. You are seeing on platforms like X, you're seeing people who are left, blue, deep blue. And you know what happened this time? The policies that they support, the politicians that implement these policies that they support have now come back to bite them. They are getting hit directly now. They're insulated from inflation. They're above the pricing system, taxes. They're above whatever illegal immigration, whatever problems that causes. They're not suffering wage-wise because of that. Their neighborhoods are gated off. But guess what? Fire doesn't care about gates. Natural disasters, when they're not handled properly or people aren't prepared as well as they can to deal with them, don't care about how much money you have or how nice your house is. So this now has bit them. I think Adam Carolla said, he said, they got bit by the snake that they support. Something along those lines. Or the snake that they keep rallying behind bit them. And this time they lost. They didn't just get hit a little. They got devastated. And what it did, it's put them in a situation just like and yes, they have more money. They probably have a house maybe in another part of the country they can go to, but nobody wants to lose a home, the sentimental value, the everything else that goes with that. Nobody wants to lose a home. And I don't wish that on somebody just because they don't vote the same way as me. I don't wish for them to have their home destroyed because of the incompetence or the failure to prepare. But you know what? You voted for these people. Yeah, like Justine Bateman said, they're looking at the letter, the R or the D. Doesn't matter if they're competent or not. It's the D. I'm voting for them. That's foolish. It's 100% foolish. And when somebody with an R screws up, I'll let you know. I'm not going to say, oh, no, they've an R, it's okay. No, it's not okay. If this was a Republican governor, number one, the media would be a million times, all over it. Just the person would have had to resign already days ago, okay? But the difference is, a Republican would get screwed, and I would yell too. I would say you should resign. You're obviously not up to this job. We have people. You have a job like that as a governor, a mayor, a police commissioner, a fire chief. You literally have people's lives in your hands. The decisions you make will affect people's lives in so many ways. And when you don't do your job correctly and it goes sideways, you need to go. You need to go. And we just don't see it anymore. Like I said, you got Karen Bass. She's still running press conferences. We had yesterday, I think, the alert system in Los Angeles went off telling people to evacuate. You had people freaking out. And the message was a mistake. Could you imagine? And you have some guy coming on today be like, oh, we don't know and we're looking into it. Are you kidding me? This is what you're dealing with in Los Angeles. In the United States, a first world, the first of the first world countries, right? It's what we're supposed to be. In the second most populated and richest city in the country. And this is what's going on. You have mismanagement at levels that are unbelievable. Now, getting back to what I said in the beginning of the video, where I'm going with this, on the federal level, Donald Trump, these people in California who have been blue, Democrat, like Justine Bateman said, they see a D, they vote. They are ripe for the taking now. You can flip that state. You know what you do? You appoint J.D. Vance, your vice president. Everybody says, oh, the vice president's a meaningless position, never does anything. Make J.D. Vance the point man for the federal government on the federal side to work with Gavin Newsom or whoever's the governor. If Gavin Newsom is still the governor, work with Gavin Newsom. And you get California rebuilt. And you get it done right. And you get the dams and you build the dams. And you have water supplies. And you get the fire hydrants to work correctly, the water pressure to work correctly, no matter how many fires there are. You fix the system. You get one shot at this. You get J.D. Vance to do it. He's smart. He's articulate. He's a fresh set of eyes. Gavin Newsom probably doesn't hate J.D. Vance. J.D. Vance doesn't hate Gavin Newsom. And J.D. Vance is the man to go to California and fix it. And if he does even a decent job, California can be Republican again. Results matter. And this is when it matters. Like I said, the results never mattered to the people living in those neighborhoods because the results never affected them. These results now, what they're dealing with, affected them. And it's the results of the people they elected and the people that failed. We all saw this coming from miles away. Donald Trump's been talking about it for years. Gets laughed at, like I said in my other video. Not laughing now. Okay? That's what I think should happen. J.D. Vance, the point man from the federal government, to work to rebuild California, to rebuild that area. Or how about J.D. Vance, whoever, you're going to have Christy Noem as Homeland Security. I'm not sure who the FEMA director is going to be. Get your FEMA director in there to work with J.D. Vance and Christy Noem and rebuild. You got North Carolina, too. People in North Carolina are probably feeling like, we didn't get this type of attention. No, of course you didn't. It's not Los Angeles, right? But there are people in North Carolina still suffering from that once-in-a-lifetime flood that happened there. This all needs to be taken care of. FEMA needs to be completely just streamlined. It should be separated out of Homeland Security. You want FEMA? Listen, it's another bloat. It's bloat on the federal government, obviously, FEMA, with Homeland Security after 9/11. But you want FEMA to start working properly? Put somebody in charge and have them work with your vice president, who you chose for a reason. Give him a real purpose. And I think he could handle it. And it sets J.D. Vance up for 2028, and it sets up things for the benefits to this country could be, you couldn't even quantify it. If J.D. Vance can get that done. And I think that's the way it goes. Who knows if Donald Trump will do it? It's just my idea. I'm nobody. But, I mean, to me, it's a no-brainer. You send him in there and you say, take care of it. Do it. Whatever you need. So we'll see what happens. But I just think that this is it's awful. I said in other videos, I feel terrible for everybody there. I don't care who you voted for. I don't want to see American citizens suffering because their government sucks. But now, don't make the same mistake again. Stop voting for these people. They're horrible. They're horrible. Now they proved it. And the consequences are astronomically bad. We're all going to pay for this. You don't think your insurance rates are going to go up because of this? Of course they are. Somebody's going to have to pay for this. These insurance companies aren't going to be able to cover this. Your insurance rates are going to go up. Everybody, no matter where you live. Incompetent leadership affects everybody. And this is just the latest example, and it's a big one. So tell me what you guys think in the comments. And if you made it this far, please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to grow the channel. It really helps, and I really appreciate it. So we'll see you next time right here at Opinions Vary.
Opinions vary.